Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Marmalade is Missing live stream here on the Sneaker Peek Cabaret channel. Tonight, we're going to be diving into mystery, mischief, and a whole lot of marmalade. I should introduce myself. My name is Tom Betts. I have contributed nothing to this artistic project, but I do love asking nosy questions in a public forum, and that's why I'm here. I'm very excited to be introducing you to the creative team behind the project. Not for the first time, I'm going to feel like Graham Norton welcoming people to the sofa, but here we go. First, I'm going to introduce James Nutting. If you like to wave at camera, James, I don't know. Yeah, here we go. James is the project art director and one of the original co-creators of Marmalade is Missing. He crafted the beautiful animation and signature style that you know and love, and co-wrote the original script with Amy. Here's Amy.
Hi.
Amy is a producer and storyteller and fellow creator of the original Marmalade is Missing. Amy works with brilliant people like James and the whole crew to turn wild ideas into the magic you see on screen. I realize everyone has different Zoom windows, but this is Eva Bloss Mason, the newest addition to the team. Eva is an animator and filmmaker who will be working alongside James to co-direct the feature. This is Sam Beck-Bessinger, who is a blogger, novelist, and scriptwriter extraordinaire. Sam builds incredible worlds from her novel Girls of Little Hope to her work on Marvel's Jessica Jones Playing with Fire. And we also have behind the scenes Glenn Bissiker, who's co-producing with Amy, and Simon Elson, who is keeping this whole train on the tracks as well. So hello to all of them too. Yeah, so this is going to be, I think, just a really lovely chat about this project, but also we're going to be hearing how the project got started, how it's going, what its future is. It's a good opportunity to talk about creative habits and sort of, great sort of advice for being an animator. You might be here because you're an animator. You might be here because you love burlesque. You might be one of the, I hear there's a few people on the internet who like cats. So for any of those reasons, you may be on joining us, or you've just stumbled upon this whole channel, and welcome either way. I think just for those who have just stumbled upon this project, I'd imagine a good amount of people who are with us kind of know what this project might be. But Amy, would you mind pitching what the project is?
Yeah, hi guys. So those of you that already know, Marmalade is Missing was a short film that James and I um, made a few years ago. Um, and now we want to make a feature based off of the same characters, but some new characters, set in the 1930s in Europe, still at the sneaker peak, but this time, we've got more than 10 minutes. This is going to be 75 to 90 odd minutes. The sneaker peak cabaret is under threat, and only the girls can save them. So, and of course, Marmalade doesn't really help much. Um, but that's the basic premise, and we're really excited to kind of to be in a position to be able to develop the idea further and share the girls and the fabulous new characters with you.
Amazing. And maybe we'll get a hint of what those characters would be within this chat. And there's also a great opportunity coming up, so stay on track. There's going to be loads of great creative advice and all secret inside tips on the film, but also there's an opportunity to do something exciting within the film as well. James, I'm going to ask you a question, which is just what got you excited about this project? Do you remember kind of the first instincts, or what kind of drew you into it?
Yeah, I hope you can hear me okay. But yeah, the original idea, because I'm an animator, most like first and foremost, I just wanted to make something that allowed me to do animated movement, animated character movement. Um, so really, that was the main kind of thing behind it. Was I just wanted to animate characters moving around on the screen. Um, and yeah, we kind of we when we developed it early on, the idea of it being an animated burlesque show kind of stuck, and that was quite exciting, because I'm not much of a storyteller, and really we just wanted the story to be really basic so that the animation could kind of take off and go off in all these different directions. So yeah, that was what was so exciting about it. Like early on, was just the idea of translating an existing art form through animation. But what's exciting about this new one is that because it's a feature film, we need to have a really strong story. So yeah, that's seeing what these characters can do in an actual feature length narrative is quite exciting.
I think anyone who's seen like 9 frames of your sort of previous work on this will know that the movement is going to be amazing and has lots of opportunities. I think you picked the right subject for making, definitely.
Oh, good.
And then again, I'll bounce back to Amy first, but which is just like how did you come on board? How did the team start coming together for this project?
Was that to me, Tom?
If
Sorry.
if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Um, well, James and I used to work, we've all worked together pretty much. Certainly myself and Glenn and James and Eva have worked together for a number of years. We all live in Wales, in the UK, and the animation industry is small. So we've all worked on various projects over the years. So we kind of, James and I were working on a project together a number of years ago, and we had this idea. I used to work in burlesque, and he's an animator, and we were just, it came from just talking rubbish in the office one day, actually, to be completely true to you. Um, and then, yeah, and Eva actually started doing work experience at Winding Snake Productions, where we all work. When she was 17, sorry, Ev, I'm going to be sounding like an embarrassing parent. And she came, she came to us before she went to college to study animation and then madly came back to us when she'd finished college as well. And so Eva has been a really formative part, along with James and Glenn, of kind of forming the work that we do. And so that's how we kind of met. And Glenn is our kind of stalwart. He's the key man that makes the decisions and organizes everything and makes sure that everything is done sensibly.
Right.
And Sam is an incredible writer. And do you know how I found her? By reading her work, which I bought in a comic book shop. And and then I sent her an email and told her that I would love to work with her. And she said yes. And it
Actually,
was
can
as
I
simple as that.
can I talk about that? Because it was so lovely for me. I think it was so clear always that what brings this team together is just affection for the source material. So when Amy first got in touch with me, it was about working on an entirely different project. But I came up to the office in near Cardiff one day, and we were brainstorming on this totally unrelated project. And sort of halfway through the day, Amy said, I just want to kind of run this other idea past you. Do you happen to like any of the following things? And then she said cats, cabaret, and like cartoon physics. And I was like, hello. And it was just this absolute kind of joy, passion project, so clearly for everyone in the team. And I mean, just how can you not get roped in with such enthusiasm and affection?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's happening with the viewers now because your enthusiasm is clear. And Eva, when you came on board for the project as well, when you come on board any project, are you thinking like way ahead to like the end result? Like you're thinking, oh, this will be a great film, or are you also kind of thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna have to do this, or I'm gonna have to do, we're gonna have to work out to do this, and are you kind of living in multiple time frames at the same time when you consider a project?
Definitely. Well, this will be my first feature film project, which is really, really exciting because I did direct another short film called Cwch Deilan, which Amy produced and James animated on. So we have worked together as a team on a shorter project, which was an amazing experience. So it's really exciting that it's a feature film, but also very daunting because I'm like, wow, this is big. This is going to be huge, and I just know it's going to be beautiful because the short film is so beautiful and so much work and love has gone into it. So I'm just really excited to see where it's going to go.
Yeah. And how is it, like, I think we've got into it a little bit already, but like, how have you kind of developed the feature? What were the kind of big decisions or big ideas from taking from the short? You were saying about you've got to find a story that kind of works. So this could be a question I guess, for Sam as well, in terms of like how the script and the story is developed.
Well, I really feel like we broke the story together. So in that one incredible, energetic afternoon that we were all sitting together, I think we were just talking through. We realized we needed a very compelling villain, and Amy and James already had an idea for a villain in their minds, who is essentially a kind of without saying too much, he really is symbolic of a very particular kind of person who unfortunately is all too familiar in the world right now. Sort of an authoritarian populist fascist leader, basically, who is campaigning for moral purity. None of us know anything about this in the world today. And we sort of riffed together really to figure out the core beats of, what are they up against? What are they doing to try to save their club that they love so much? And yeah, we kind of figured out, and already what is so fun for me as a storyteller, working with people like Effa and James and Amy and Glenn as well, people who think visually, is their brains work in a totally different way to mine, in a way that's really fun to then bounce. They had these great ideas for these very expansive, strange, dreamlike visual sequences. And that was really fun for me as well, to sort of think about how I could daisy chain those together in a story that had really good momentum and worked as a story, but also kind of got to those sort of stranger places that you can only get to in animation. So it was a really collaborative process, kind of expanding it out, which is delightful. Yeah.
Again, hearing you all talk, I'm just wishing I had any animating talent at all, or just talent, because it sounds like a great project to be part of. And yeah, and so you're approaching it from a kind of a story point of view and a story structure, justifiably. And James and Eva, were you kind of looking at, like, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you were doing that too, but like thinking, I'd really love to draw this, or I'd really love to animate this, were there kind of things you go, I'd love this kind of person, or I'd love to draw this kind of environment, or try this kind of shot? Did you have kind of a wish list for when you thought about expanding it too?
Yeah, well, I think we love the performance parts of the short film, so we've definitely got some of those like really fun sort of cabaret scenes. But James, you wanna chime
Yeah,
in?
I was just interested in just letting other people take it in like a new direction. So I kind of was just I didn't have any kind of thoughts of what it could be. I was just like, go ahead, like you guys have like whatever ideas you have. So
No, it sounds collaborative as well. I mean, like any feature film is like, we sometimes talk about like the director as the author or something like that, but there's so many voices, and the best ones, everyone kind of gets to put themselves into it too, don't they? So we're going to have questions from the chat. We've got chat questions coming in already, and I know we've also had questions from sort of previous comments on previous videos and iterations of the project. So I'm going to start with, I mean, maybe it seems like a controversial one as well, but like, there was a change in the characters from the short to the feature. So sort of how and why, I mean, I'm sure they've got even better, but like, how and why have you decided to change the characters from as the project has evolved?
yeah, so the thought of doing a feature film, well, when I made the original film, it's 8 minutes long, and it took 6 years to make. And immediately the thought of doing a feature film, I thought, well, we're going to have to change the designs, make it a little bit more simplified, to get the amount of work done. So yeah, with the teaser that we did, we approached like a new kind of design style for the characters, and also, what was quite interesting was we had these established characters, but they were just the personas, the stage personas of these characters. So the thought was, well, who are these characters when they're off stage? What kind of outfits would they wear? How would they look? So yeah, the teaser that we put out was a little experiment to see what could these characters look like if it was done in a different style. In terms of for the characters, but also in terms of depending on what the budget is. But really, I mean, we realized that the reason that people loved the original film is because of the artwork, because of the art style, which is really nice. So depending entirely on what the budget is for the feature, if we want to do the original style, which we can do, then we just need to have the money to do it, which would be great. And that's what everyone wants. So
I hope it's just flowing in as we speak. You'll have so much you won't even know what to. You're like, I can't do that any more characters. I was gonna, if it's not, spoiler territory as well. Like, do you? I may run around all four of you as well. Like, do you have any favorite characters? Either it can be, like you just love them as a person. Like you love who that person is. You may love them because they're great to animate or to write. Or you may be just like, I can't wait till audiences see this character. So I'm gonna go to Sam first, if that's all right. Like, which characters are you loving or excited
So
about?
I think as a my writing process involves a lot of nerding out, like, and it was really fun. It was Amy's idea to move the setting from the present day into the 1930s because there's a lot of resonance there. And so I have had so much fun digging deep into archives about real cabaret clubs in the 1930s. And one of our characters, Melody Wheeler, who kind of exists in the short but has been really expanded and given a kind of larger role in the film, is sort of slightly based on some real life women club owners in the 1930s who were just these incredibly tenacious, fierce, incredible women fighting constant police raids, basically. And Melody, I think, is my favorite character. She's very protective. She's created this found family that she will defend to the ends of the earth. She's sardonic. And she's great, and she just feels very real and grounded. So I'm very excited for people to meet Melody. Yeah.
Me also. I should say that was a question from the live chat as well. You'll probably find that most of the best questions didn't originate in my brain tonight. So, and Amy, which characters are you most loving at the moment?
Well, from the very beginning, Margot. Margot is just divine. There's nothing more to say. She's just divine. Um, she kind of is inspired by one of my heroes of burlesque, an incredible American performer who I've seen live, and oh my God, she's phenomenal. She is just phenomenal. She's called Dirty Martini. Um, and her work is mind-blowing, and she's just, performance and sexy and incredible and, all woman. Um, and so Margot's kind of inspired by her. And yeah, and the character design did not disappoint. I remember introducing James to Dirty Martini in the studio when we were working, and he was just kind of excited by the prospect of drawing them, of drawing them and being able to create the movement. So
Sounds
yeah.
sounds great, and I'm sure there are loads of people around the world who wish they'd picked that name as well as their performing name. So yeah, great. And Eva, which characters are really kind of working for you? Well, I mean, I'm sure they're all great, but
Yeah,
any
I don't know. I
highlight?
don't know if I can pick one, but it has
Yeah.
been really fun, sort of developing them during this like development period and like really getting to know them and sort of like giving them a bit of backstories and like figuring out the dynamics between them. And yeah, that's been really fun, like seeing that with Sam's work and everything. Yeah, coming to life.
Yeah, and like James said earlier, as well, like thinking about like the different versions of a persona, because then that sort of probably feeds into all the scenes you're doing. I sort of know what they're like off stage, and James, you've been with this project so long as well. But like, do you have your favorites changed? Are they all your favorites? Is it too harsh to ask you to pick anyone out? Or?
Um, yeah, it is often changing, but I think Margot is just the one that like all of her movements, all of her expressions come really naturally to me because don't forget it's me that's animating it. So yeah, like she's the easiest to draw because I think her personality is just so strong. Like you just know exactly what it is that she'd do in the scene, how she'd move. And a lot of thought went into, the way these characters move. And she's completely in love with herself. And she has just this big, just personality, big vibe, lots of confidence. It's just loads of fun to animate.
Amazing. And I mean, and Sam sort of touched on the kind of research that she's been doing as well for in terms of like looking back in history. But again, I'm asking as someone who doesn't know animation, but presumably, yeah, you have movement research and models and people your references. James, it sounds like you've looked inwards to your inner burlesque performer as well. But have you had any human or animal sort of subjects to kind of help you with the sense of movement, or is that all just something we have within us, or what you have within you as the team?
Yeah, I think because I'd just like imagined the whole film in my head, it was just all there. Yeah, I always do look to existing animation because the style of Marmalade is Missing is very Tom and Jerry. So there's a lot of animation history that's kind of injected into a lot of it. So in terms of observation, a lot of classic 1940s animation, even before that, dancing skeletons, all these themes that kind of crop up in the Marmalade is Missing short film. And yeah, I suppose, music, all the different elements that make up a film kind of inform what comes out in the end. So, we wanted music, and that informs what the visuals would be, what the tempo of the movement is. So yeah, like the whole sandwich kind of informs the final look.
We did actually as well at at the time when we were starting the work on the process, when we were developing the original short. I did get a couple of burlesque performers to come into the studio and have a chat with us, so that we could talk about what the environment is like backstage, the camaraderie, the sisterhood, the kind of, the really positive action, the positive environment that is what it's like behind the curtain, basically, for the performers, and how just how pleasant an environment it is, really, just nurturing and supportive of everyone there. And I thought it was good for us to do that.
Yeah. And I'm sure the end result is going to be entertaining audiences worldwide. But like, I think presumably that's in your heart as well, that you want the performers you've met, you want them to be able to watch the film and go, that's it. That's what it is like in some, some heightened way. Great. Another question from the chat as well. See all the good questions. What if you're happy to talk about it? What can we expect in terms of voice actors, or will there be new voice actors? Are there people do you have a wish list, or what can we expect at the moment? If you're happy to talk about it.
Shall I take this one? Well, we do have a wish list, but it's still in kind of, I'd say, it's still early doors, as we say. The voiceover in the short is Victoria Scone of RuPaul's Drag Race UK fame, phenomenal actor, fantastic performer, also Welsh. So we've got a few ideas, but I think for now we're going to remain tight-lipped. But we would love it if people have any ideas to share them with us, because we're all ears.
Yeah, and it may be as people see some of the designs, they maybe go, "Oh, that should be X or Y or something like that." But protect your fans, your backers, your friends should just know that you're aiming high for the.
Oh, we're aiming high, as high as we can go.
I believe you. Amazing. Okay, and so we've got to cut. Well, this is probably a quick question. How old are the characters in Marmalade is Missing? I don't know if that's a
great
maybe
question.
they have an age, but they don't want to say. We don't know. So can anyone comment on how old the characters are?
I can, or Sam can, or James can.
I mean, it's an interesting answer because at least one of the characters officially in her character bio, age unknown. We have one character who's kind of in our minds. She's sort of an immortal being who knows how old she is. She exists beyond space and time. But I think amongst the others, there's a real range, right? I mean, Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the other characters range from in their 50s to 20s.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like the real burlesque scene, right? Like it's
like the real
incredibly
cabaret scene.
inclusive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big range. And I think this is a very promising sign as well, because another question we've got in the chat here is, and this is bearing in mind this is a film you are working on now, will there be any merch? And this more than one person has asked this as well. So are you thinking ahead to merch, or maybe you've been thinking about merch from the very beginning?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We have been thinking about it and we have been having conversations about it.
Any
Um,
suggestions from the chat?
yeah, if there's things you think you'd like, because we've been thinking about models,
Yeah.
but also about items of clothing,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, lots of, there's potential also because, because drawing is an artwork and storytelling is what we do, graphic novels maybe as well, but um, you know, we'll park that there. But yeah, we are thinking about merch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a specific request here for figurines, and also the requester, if that's a word, has said they love Margot, Roxy, and Dahlia the most. If you want a bit of feedback there as well.
Fantastic.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure probably thousands of people have gone as, Jessica Rabbit to fancy dress parties. So it might even be that, yeah, like clothing, you could have like real life people becoming your characters out in the world. That might be something to sort of aim
That'd
for
be
as well.
so cool.
Breastplates.
Well,
Breastplates, guys.
there we go. So again, all options are being considered. Um, and I mean, just to kind of, for those who are kind of maybe interested in the process of animation as well, what would be like a typical day? Do you think? I mean, you can answer in the past tense or the future tense, but like, what's your kind of creative practice as you work on this? Like, what would be like a typical day working on a project like this, or a typical week? What would be? Do you have like targets, like I'm going to get like X number of frames or X number of seconds or 10 minutes, or like how does that, so Eva, maybe I'll ask that to you, like what is the kind of, for a project like this, what's kind of your workflow and expectations?
Well, we are still at very early stages. There is a lot of things to work through, but because we've had this feedback about the characters being digital and like people not liking them as much, we have been floating the idea that we might do it all on paper again, which would be so exciting because especially in this day and age of like a lot of AI slop being produced, it would be really nice to do a traditional animation and yeah, just have that sort of timeless feel for it. So we've been talking about having a team of remote workers and giving them loads of paper to work on. I don't know how many frames do you do in a day, James?
It depends on the character. In the original short, Sabine, who's the green-haired character, because she had all these bangles and trinkets on her, it would take 45 minutes to do just one drawing. So I think normally it would take about 10 minutes to do just one drawing. So her scenes took a lot longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all depends uh, on who the character is.
And we also work like, well, James would do like some key poses, and I've been doing like in betweens and stuff like that. So we like sort of split it up, team work wise.
Great.
Yeah,
And
exciting.
also, I think you need to know the really practical stuff, which is like, so bangles problem, or yeah. Are there bangles in the scene? Oh no. No, it's great. And actually, you've raised a couple of questions as well. While we're sort of sticking on kind of more kind of animation technique questions, which is, can we get a definitive statement from you on the use or not use of AI in this project? Given that I think we got a hint of your feelings about it, but who wants to go on the record?
I do.
Yeah.
We will not be using AI during the production of Marmalade is Missing. Um, apart from the already established things, that are already well embedded into industry long before the new AI craze. No, we won't be using it. We won't be using it for creative. We won't be using it to create drawings, for storytelling, for anything at all. Yeah, there we go.
I think
Um,
you have my full support, if in case that was unclear. And I
I'm,
was secretly a massive fan of AI.
yeah, I'm
No,
I'm I'm AI curious.
Yeah.
So,
That's good to
but
know.
this is not the project for that, because this is, you know, the beauty and the joy of this project is it's the craft of animation.
Yeah. And you want to feel the individual personalities that have kind of, and I think we're getting a sense of that in this conversation now, is the people who, you know, the people who are making it, but the people who inspired it, the history of it and all of that kind of stuff. And I think on some, whether it's a conscious or unconscious level, the viewers want to feel that, don't they? They don't want to feel like
Yeah.
it's got fed into a machine. So great. Thank you for going on the record. And then I've got a really specific question as well, which is like, is this going to be animated on ones? Or I hope I'm really at the edge of my knowledge, even asking that question,
We're
but
not sure yet.
that's fine.
Depends how much money we have.
There we go. Yeah,
We're aiming
maybe
for
just
one.
yeah, somewhere between ones or one frame a second. It's, you know, either is, you know, it's all up for grabs. Great. And again, we've got more questions here as well. So yeah, okay. When you asked us to send you fan art, where will that be? Where can people see the fan art? Is there any opportunity to see the fan art? It's great to hear that people are, you know, already engaged by a film that hasn't even come out yet. That you know, they're already kind of producing the fan art. So where might be opportunities to either send it or to see it?
I think we can probably share it on our Instagram channel with
Yeah.
shout outs to make sure, you know, and I think we had one in before and that we can potentially put up on screen. We wanted to share it with you and we all really love it. So
Yeah.
it looks great. So yeah, we were going to share some that we've got, and of course we'll put it up on our Instagram channel. We won't be monetizing it, just in case anyone was wondering. You know, it's just so that it gives us a little boost to know that you're really enjoying the work that we're creating.
And in the unlikely event that people aren't already following your Instagram channel, what is the handle for this particular project?
Well, it's Winding Snake, as far as I know. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's
Just
good too. Well,
Winding
then, and then they get a sense of all the things you're working on as well.
Snake.
It's Winding Snake Animate.
Winding
go.
Snake. And there we go. Animate.
I mean, I feel like the chances of someone not following it already is very small. I'm sure we're all on it as well. And we've got a question about like I suppose there's a question about animators. I mean, I think you're already working with an incredible team. Either animators you would love to work with, or animators maybe from cinema history you've been inspired by as well. So it could be directors, but it could be, I think sometimes it could be the unsung heroes, like individual animators. So I'll start with you, James. Are there any people that have inspired you or are inspiring you with their animation work?
Yeah, well, what's nice is people often comment on the original film saying that it looks like Richard Williams worked on it, or it looks like a Don Bluth film or Joanna Quinn. I've had the pleasure of working with Joanna Quinn once before, so that's really nice. She's a hero of mine. Unfortunately, Richard Williams is no longer with us, but that's a really nice compliment, because I think a lot of people consider him to be like the king of drawn animation. But no, in terms of animators that we could get, I'd like any animator to come and work on the film. There aren't any particular names that come to mind apart from the ones I've just mentioned.
Yeah. And Eva, how about you? I mean, it may be similar names, maybe some entirely different influences as well.
I really love, my all-time favorite film is The Triplets of Belleville, and I think this film has a little quality of that, and like the beautiful kind of background designs as well, and the characters. Yeah, that's one of my faves.
I think it's nice to think that in some future day, hopefully not too far away, but like someone will have like 4K discs of Triplets of Belleville and your film maybe next to each other on a very special shelf.
It's so
So,
cool.
and Sam, this can be an animation question or just a storytelling question as well. Like, are there storytellers or creatives in any form that have really inspired you, and especially might sort of have a bearing on your work on this project as well?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think just in terms of animation, I hadn't watched a lot of 1930s animation before. So I went down a real rabbit hole. James and Amy and everyone pointed me to the things I should watch. And I ended up watching a lot of Max Fleischer cartoons. And he actually animated quite a few interesting sort of cabaret scenes, which is interesting. So yeah, for some of the visual sequences that helped me sort of imagine cartoon physics a little bit. I think in terms of story, I'm a lifelong fan of Cabaret the musical, which I definitely couldn't help but think a lot about while crafting the story. But I think it has a much more sort of propulsive, it's more plotty, I think, than musically in structure. But yeah, I did think quite a lot about the world and the themes of that film.
Well, as luck would have it, we have one more space on our special Blu-ray shelf, so that can go on the other side of the box set. We'll figure it out. But no, it's great, and also like like you say, I'm sure you've all been you're giving advice to people and you're giving people an insight into your practice. What are some of the best bits of advice you've ever received? Could be just as a person in the world or as an animator or creative. So maybe Amy, I'll start with you on this one. What's some great advice you've received in any
Well,
format?
yeah, actually, the best advice I've ever received was from an intern that I had in the studio that I ran. They, yeah, we were going to an animation festival, and um, considering that they were so young and so inexperienced within the kind of networking and the sector networking and that sort of thing, they were absolutely amazing. And just kind of just getting out and going and talking to absolutely everybody. And I kind of said to them, where does this come from? And she said, well, I really hate networking. I really hate going into these environments and kind of having to force a smile and try and force my way into conversations that I'm clearly not in. Um, so I set myself a task every time I have to go to these things. I tell myself, I need to speak to three people. I need to tell them who I am and what I do, and that's it. Then I can go home. And I just thought that that was absolutely fantastic advice that I started to take myself. I mean, obviously, when you've been doing it for a while, it becomes a lot easier. But you still are always in rooms where you don't know people and you need to feel as if you need to impress them. And I always think of that way of thinking from that young intern who just blew my mind.
I
So
think it's incredible to think about how much of the great art in the world was essentially comes from people tricking themselves into sort of self-manipulation. Go, okay, I've got to do it, and it could be because I want to go home or I want to have lunch or whatever, and then oh, I accidentally made a masterpiece. But there we go. If any of you are happy answering as well in terms of like sort of great advice or feedback you've been given as well, it could be like life strategy or it could be just a little note you've received on something as well. Sam, you're nodding, so I'm going to go to you if that's okay.
Well, I mean, it's the phrase first just make it exist and then later make it good. But I think about that often. I think when all of us who became artists because we love art, whether we become writers or animators, whatever we do. But it's so difficult in the early years whenever you're trying to do something because your tastes are up here, but your abilities are here. And it can be so discouraging when, everything you try to write or you try to draw, it just in your mind, you keep telling yourself that this isn't as good as the things I love. But the truth is that if you look at anyone's first draft, even of the artists you love and admire, it's probably not very good either. The difference is just continuing to work at something, but you can't improve unless you practice your craft. So it's just that trick of turning that judgmental voice off, and that the mantra that helps me, and I still have to remind myself of all the time, is just make it exist. Later, you can make it good.
Yeah, and I
love
mean
that.
we're doing both tonight. So,
Yeah.
and James, again, any advice that you've either been given or would like to give to people as well?
Mine would be exactly the same as what Sam just said. Yeah, like part of like the thing that I realized making the original is so much of animation isn't just doing the animation; it's kind of revising it, changing it. Once you move from one stage to another, you realize that you have to make some changes. So yeah, just do it, make it exist, and then you can focus on making it good.
And I suppose again, correct me if I'm ignorant because I probably am, but like I feel like any kind of filmmaking is hard and can be like a marathon really. But like animation is really like so I suppose you kind of have to live in the present really, don't you? Like sort of shot by shot because if you think about it's going to be great by the way, but like you can't always think about everything that's coming. It just has to be one step, one bite at a time just to kind of get through it. Good. I'm glad I didn't say anything really stupid. And Eva, like any advice you've been given or would like to give as well?
I don't know if it's a bit obvious, but I think a friend said to me when I was at uni, just follow what you love. Um, and I think that has really stuck with me. I think like obviously you can't always be just doing what you love, and sometimes you have to like earn a living and stuff. But I think like projects like this are just really refreshing, and it really like keeps your love of like animation alive because animation can be really hard. So yeah, I don't know. Try and yeah, follow what you're passionate about. And the more that you follow that route, I think the more things will like graduate towards you as well. It's kind of like a attract like law of attraction type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think even if there are detours, it's good to have like a sort of central mantra or compass or something, isn't it? So that you can recognize when you've detoured as well, but like to have something you're aiming for. No, amazing. Now in the chat again, someone has asked the literal $1 million question: Is there somewhere we can donate if we want to support the project? I mean, is Amy, is there somewhere we can donate if we want to support the project? And
Oh,
how do we
yes,
do that?
please.
I'm
Yes,
hoping
please.
that's posted by a billionaire. Just
Yeah.
because
Please be a billionaire.
yeah, they're never as happy as they think they're going to be, and they've got all this money. So, but where can people donate, and in what denominations can they donate?
Um, well, there is a crowdfunder. It's crowdfunder. Marmalade is missing again, I believe.
Right.
But if you put into Google or any search engine, Marmalade is missing crowdfunder UK, you'll find it. You'll be able to find it. And at the end, I believe Glenn is going to put the link on screen so that you'll be able to access it that way. But otherwise, yeah, just Google crowdfunder Marmalade is missing and you'll find it.
There's a
And what
link
are
in
the,
the
if you're happy
in the
to talk
chat.
through it? Sorry, Glenn.
Sorry, there's a link in the chat as well.
Oh, there's a
Perfect.
link in the chat. There we are.
So there you go. You could donate right now if you wanted to. And you should. Let's not
Yeah.
even be too passive about it. Go for it. And so can we talk about what the goals are or what the kind of things, what the kind of levels are as well? What are the kind of rewards you might get for donating to this project?
Yeah, we have the coffee crew, which is a £3, which I think is, oh, I don't know what it is in dollars or other currencies, but I'm assuming it's around about $2.50, if you can say that, if that is even right. But yeah, uh, so that's but you don't have to donate £3. You could donate £1 or
Yeah.
£2. But yeah, that's the kind of the lower end. And for that, you'll get a credit. You'll get a credit in the film as a supporter of the film at the end when the long old credits go up. And everybody actually that donates gets accredited.
Yeah.
And we have good questions.
Well,
There's six
yeah.
with a new one that was launched actually at the start of the week for some artwork as well, some signed artwork created by the lovely James as well. So check out the crowdfunder because my mind's gone blank, but I do
Okay.
know because I wrote them.
Yeah. And even more than a credit, you'll feel great. You'll just feel really good after you've done it as well. You'll just feel like I've contributed to art in the world and a lovely project. And again, I mean, this is a question that's come up on previous chats. Do people just have to be based in the UK and donating in pounds, or do you accept other currencies in your donations? You know, the large
Yeah,
donations.
yeah. No, you can donate from anywhere in the world. We accept all major credit cards, but no, but you can donate from anywhere in the world. You just need to, in the drop down on the crowdfunder, select which country you're in, and you can then donate in your country's currency, and it will and the crowdfunder will basically convert that currency into pounds. So yeah, it does it all for you. Yeah, so.
And according to my notes and my incredible financial knowledge, transaction fees may vary from territory to territory, but these things are now built to be very international as well. I'm going to start asking questions that I don't even understand the words I'm saying, but will you guys try to join with glitch animations? Does that mean something to you? So,
Anyone? Glitch? No, but
okay,
maybe. We don't know.
maybe. Well, it's
Maybe.
capitalized as well. It might mean something, but there we go. And and then we've got another project, another question, which is, do you have any ideas or concepts for girls that any of you would love to add to the cabaret in the future? So I guess this is like performers. Like, so are there any? Because I suppose that's the one of the problems you have is you might then invent too many great characters, and everyone has to serve a story function. Be like, but this is just a really great performer. So are there any characters either that you think somewhere someday they could make their way in, or a spin-off or a sequel or anything like that? Sam, you look like you're full of ideas.
Honestly, we had to whittle down to
Yeah,
get to a manageable cast. So this question freaks me out.
yeah, fair enough.
But we do have some new exciting characters on their way.
And maybe now is a good time to talk about the competition as well. So if I'm not going massively off script, so we've got someone new to introduce tonight. This is a brand new character you haven't met before, and he's going to be starring in the feature. And here's the fun bit: you, the internet, get to name, and you can always trust the internet. You get to name him. So he's one of, and this is a fun sentence to say out loud. He's one of the Beefcake Daddies. That's our resident troupe of male dancers here at Sneaker Peek, performing alongside the brilliant Burley Girls. He's a proper gentleman, kind, grounded, and a fantastic mover, dad bod proudly included. So this, I mean, how can you say no to an offer like that? And here's how the competition works. So tomorrow we're uploading the full video to our channel, and all you need to do is drop your name suggestion for him in the comments. The competition will be open for 1 week from upload, but you're going to get a head start tonight. So I feel like we might be about to see this character. So here we go. See, I think you can. You'll probably be thinking of names. What a dapper gentleman with incredible expressions. But you'll also just be imagining the scenes that he could be in, what he's going to be up to as well. Is there anything you'd like to say about influences, or so this could be for any of the team? James, maybe would you like to talk about this character and how he came to be, or what were some of the inspirations?
Yeah, so this was a character that was cut from the original film. We did have some male characters in the original short, but really we just had to cut all the characters down. This was a character that originally was going to get eaten by a snake that Sabine had. So yeah, that's the origin of this character. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think there's a little bit of Muddy Waters kind of facial structure. I was listening to a lot of blues guitar at the time, so that worked its way in there. But yeah.
He looks incredible. And did you have to research the costume, or was that again just sort of part of your kind of knowledge of the era and the styles, or is he gone through different? Does he have like a big imaginary wardrobe that he could be getting into as well? Like how did the final costume changes come together on this?
He could do the original. The first drawing I did was of him in the suit with the cigar, and then I think it was in lockdown. I changed it to the smoking jacket and the fez. I thought it was a little bit more camp, a little bit more fun. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's
he
cool.
could have a whole wardrobe. People can suggest what kind of underwear he's wearing.
Yeah, remember to do the name as well. If it's just underwear-based suggestions, there's only so much we can do with that. But yeah, the name is. I think it's the mark of really good character design that just as a still image that's not even moving yet, you can imagine how he might move, but also kind of how he sounds just from how he looks as well. So yeah, I'm already sort of jumping several steps
And,
ahead, just kind of seeing how he's going to come along.
and we'd
So
like
yeah,
a first name and a surname as well, by the way.
first name and surname. Yeah,
First
and
name and surname, please.
yeah. And we've got some non-binding examples. So does he look like a Moses Spatchcock or an Adonis Oxford or a Jim Junior Price the Third? So none of those, but maybe that kind of gives you little sort of markers. Or you might go again. We're keen to avoid a Boaty McBoatface situation, but I feel like amongst this lovely community, that's not going to happen. So what are you thinking? What names are coming to mind? What vibes or history or associations you might think of as you're going along there? He looks amazing, though. I mean, everyone looks amazing in this thing. So yeah, um, great. So I mean, this is going very well. So how long will the crowdfunder be running for? Like, how long do people have to kind of get an opportunity to get involved?
It will be running for another, I think it's 8 days. I saw on the crowdfunder earlier today, so around about 8 days. And we're just, we're really hoping that we someone can send a link to their exceptionally wealthy aunt or
Yeah.
who loves the arts. Used to be a bit of a girl in her day,
Yeah. If you have any relatives who are dentists who love burlesque, then please get in touch. I mean, 8 days is enough time for you to email everyone you know, I think, even if you just did a few emails every hour. We've got some name suggestions here. These are fragments, so maybe these could be expanded upon as well. First name that comes up is Boris. Now, I think in the UK, I mean, some faces have been made already. So that's a name that has associations in the UK, especially. But maybe we could be making all new associations. Maybe when
Yeah.
in a few years' time when this film comes out and all got our lovely Blu-ray shelves, uh, if you say Boris, you were like, oh, from Marmalade is Missing, of course.
Yeah.
And so that could be a thing. We've got a Jerome. That feels like a very nice
Do
kind of.
like Jerome.
That's a very
Yeah.
kind of good sort of jazzy period name as well,
Mm.
Jerome. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Or Hitchcock. So again, like
Hitchcock.
yeah.
Strong.
Needs to go. I think this is just sort of evidence of the kind of discerning viewers we have on this stream as well. So yeah, do you feel like we give Boris Jerome Hitchcock? There, like we solved it. So and sometimes people, it's fun to have long names, isn't it? I mean, it's not so much fun for the screenwriter, Sam, if you have to type them every time into Final Draft. But
I'll do it for you guys.
thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you're sort of continuing to feel inspired. And this obviously, it's great that we're doing this live, and it's been really brilliant to see everyone's questions. But this video will last online as well. And so, like, if you're watching this in the near future, I mean, if you're watching this in the distant future, I hope everything's worked out okay. But if you're watching the next few days, then you can still be thinking and sort of chiming in as well. Have we got any more questions? I think we've covered quite a lot as well, haven't we? So. What are you, I'm going to ask, what are you doing next on the project? So like, what's the next thing you might work? I mean, I feel like crowdfunding is a busy job as well, but like, what's the scene or the shot or the character that you're kind of most looking forward to getting back to, or just is literally the next thing you're going to work on? So sorry, I'm asking you, Eva, just as you take a drink of your drink, so I'm going to just kill time. But yeah, what are you most excited to kind of get back to work on or next?
We've got a lot to do. We're working on the script. We've got the first draft done, which is really exciting. We're going to be having a writer's room soon with some other people chiming in with feedback on the script. So that's really cool. We're going to work on character development, working on new character designs, maybe figuring out what kind of style we're going to go for. Yeah, we've got a lot to be getting along with.
Yeah. And James, I know this project has been, it's literally a labor of love, but like this period now feels like quite a big sort of marker in the journey. So presumably you're really keen to, I mean, you might be really tired as well, but presumably you're really keen to kind of just move forwards now and kind of get going with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think depending on what the result of the crowdfunder is, we'll see what the next stage is. But yeah, I think still working on, like Eva said, the script. So yeah, I think getting a good script that everyone's happy with is the main thing at the moment.
And Sam, no pressure, but you're nodding. I think that's going to be fun. Yeah, I mean, but also like you're saying, sort of getting things going, like getting that first draft, that must be satisfying to kind of be at that stage.
Yeah, well,
already.
and now it's the fun part where
Yeah.
now it exists there's a rough draft on paper and now it's collaborative. So I'm really excited. We're going to be doing that very much together, kind of filling in some of the things that are sort of just rough outlines right now. Yeah, and tightening the screws. This is the fun part.
Yeah, you can sort of feel the shape of things, and yeah, it's just kind of adding in. And this feels like a kind of project that will just have delights in every frame. And whether it's like secret gags or like just lovely bits of business or like lovely bits of style. And so like that thing, once you've kind of got the framework of it and just kind of going, I'm confident, and I'm saying that because I don't have to do any of it, but I'm confident that this team is going to fill it full of great stuff. So yeah, and Amy, I'm probably in your immediate future is managing a crowdfunder, but again, I'm sure you're as keen as anybody to be moving forwards with the project too.
Yeah, I mean, we like the guys have said, we've got a lot, a long way to go, and this is just the beginning. But we've got some beautiful, and we've got some beautiful ideas for some gorgeous animated sequences. Visual splendor is what I would say. We really do, and we want them to be made. So next steps for us is continuing to build the team, continuing to generate interest in what we're trying to do, raising money. And then once we've done that, production will begin. But at this stage, it's raising money
Yeah.
for me.
I'm saying this to every single billionaire watching. Please get involved, and every single non-billionaire as well. That we're sort of almost out of time. So if you do have any questions, now is the moment to kind of throw them in. But and thank you for all the brilliant questions so far. You've made my job so much easier. This is a quite specific question, which is, will any art books or concept art be released to the public? Any point? This could be like during the process, or maybe as backer rewards, or this, like a lovely coffee table book. Is that something? Again, we're trying to live in the present, but presumably that's a lovely thing to
Yes.
think of as well. We'll make another shelf below the Blu-rays. So
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I recall a conversation with James because there's so much artwork from the short in the studio now, and James even said to us at one point, we could just throw it in the bin. We didn't throw it in the bin. We still have it, and it's very well looked after. But yeah, we're gonna do something with it because it's beautiful stuff. So yeah.
yeah, that's just the kind of thing that someone who's got too much good stuff to work with would say.
How much
That's what it
paper?
is.
How much paper did the short take? I'm throwing in a question now.
Ooh.
I think yeah, that's a good one.
All I know is that I think the stack of paper, when it was all stacked up, it ended up. I think it was like maybe 5 foot high.
He's taller than me, and I'm 5'2".
There we go. Yeah, I think it was just a bit shorter than me, so it might be 5'5", 5'6".
So a feature film, we're talking about a bunch of Amy's. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Times
Paper
10.
YouTube measured in reams, but now we'll measure it in Amy's. So I'm about 5 Amy's into this project already. So yeah, it's going great. Amy, you don't have to be a unit of management. That's not obligatory. Well, I mean, this has been a lovely chat, and I think we are just about out of time. But I came into the chat excited about the project, and I'm leaving it even more excited. Thank you all for sharing the hour with me. Thank you very much to everyone who's suggested anything or had any questions. And I think the quality of the questions and the suggestions makes me feel like you've already attracted some brilliant fans, and you're going to attract loads more as well. So I'm going to wrap this up. But this has been great, and I'm very optimistic for the future. So thank you all.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.